Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Masters of the Universe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, New Eternia, Cyclone. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging, and here on the very top we've got 30 points of articulation, 6 and up Mattel. On the top flap here we have Masterverse and that nice exploding rock art that takes you right on back to the 80s. That is if you grew up with the original Masters of the Universe line. Lots of artwork here on the front. Nice, decently sized window there showcasing the figure and some of his accessories. Masters of the Universe, New Eternia, Cyclone. And here we've got artwork of Cyclone, and he's fighting some of Skeletor's skeleton horse face warrior dudes. And then, that's all around. Then up here in the background looks like some guys who are similar, or at least in similar garb to Cyclone. And then Skeletor's flying his I cannot remember the name of that thing, but it looks like a giant dragonfly. And it was really cool, and the wings flap. But that's, for another time. Then here on the back, in the background there, we've got some illustrated things as the background. And then the foreground, of course, is practical photography. And then here we have some closer up shots of some of the features of the figure. And then here's a picture of him. Cyclone, heroic fist-flinging tornado. The gale force winds of New Eternia blast across the decimated planet with the storm's herald, Cyclone, at its helm. Also available, each sold separately, subject to availability. Colors and decorations may vary. And it's the cross-sale Thunder Punch He-Man, Emperor Hordak Leech, and this figure, Cyclone. Mattel, empowering the next generation through play. And then I don't think I covered the bottom, so here we have small print, fine print, legalese print, main Vietnam print, MattelShop.com print, contents, one figure, accessories, a question mark, symbols I'm not going to learn, assortment numbers, and a barcode. And that, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at some of the smaller accessories. So he does come with an extra set of fists. Nothing I don't think we've seen, that we haven't seen in the line before, rather. It's on in and out hinges, molded in the correct color. And, that's about all I can say about it. And same holds true for this one as well. And you can see, I don't know, there's a little bit of like silver flecks in the plastic, it looks like. So there is that. Next, he has these flame effects which can plug into the shield or into his arms. So very nice looking, made out of translucent plastic and kind of soft. And there's two of those. They appear to be exactly the same at first glance, except opposite. Made for the opposite side. So here is his shield, again made out of a translucent plastic. Very reminiscent of the shield the original figure came with. And then it's got a port here and a port here for those flame effects. And then it's got a post here to attach it to the figure. And then his last accessory is a face mask that just kind of clips on. And you notice it's got two little bumps there, one on either side. And I'm sure there's divots under the helmet where you can't really see where they clip into place, because it's not easy to get them off. I mean, it's not hard, but it just doesn't snap right off. So let's take a look at the figure himself. And man, look at the deco on that face. Those eyes really stand out even under the shade of the helmet. So very good. And he's got these nice lines on here and under the chin as well, just to kind of punctuate that he is an android. And then this upper chest piece looks like all new sculpting. And for his radar doodad here, on the outside it's clear, but it looks like the readout piece is separate, and then there's another piece behind it. And it could be two more pieces behind it. It's hard to see on camera, but it is on there in layers, so that's really cool. This kind of beats the original. Had like the lenticular sticker in there that you would move it a little bit and you would see different readouts on it, so that's cool. And these look like separate pieces glued on, but I could be wrong. I am wrong. It's a molded part of this torso and they're just painted. It's got a port back here for where the shield can go when he's not using it. And then these pieces are separate pieces. They're made out of translucent plastic and then are glued onto the arm here. This is all molded in this gold plastic, and this appears to be a paint app. Unless it's all a separate piece as well. It could be a separate piece as well. But I do believe it's molded in there and it's painted. But again, I could be wrong. Looks like we've got a little bit of paint app here. Or maybe it's molded in this color and the paint app is this. This looks more painty than this does. So this appears to be the paint. And then again, the legs are molded in this gold plastic, and then he's got these rings here at the top of his boot, and then the boots are, I believe they're molded in this color. And then on the arms here at the wrist, just behind the wrist, he's got two ports here for plugging in the shield, or I guess other weapons from other figures that have that plug-in piece. So overall, I have to say it's a very nice looking version of Cyclone. So let's take a look at his articulation, and he's on a dumbbell at the neck. He can look up that high, he can look down that far. He's got, wow, chicken neck. He's got just a little bit of waggle. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulders, this piece gets in the way just a little bit, so it does bend. But when you bend it like that, he can give you a 90-degree bend at the shoulder. It does rotate 360 degrees there as well. Cut at the upper bicep, and again, this plastic piece gets in the way, but it will do full 360 degrees. This piece is kind of soft, and it will move out of the way. At the elbow, double hinged pinless elbow, and it will give you that much bend. Then at the wrist, 360 degrees of rotation on in and out hinge, and in and out hinge on the other side as well. Cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet, and it gives you hula, and he can lean left and right. It allows him to lean back that far and crunch forward just slightly. And let's see, it also rotates a full 360 degrees there as well. At the waist, it's a straight cut. It's kind of covered with the belt a little bit, and it will give you a full 360-degree rotation there as well. Pull down hinge in the hips, and he will give you that much of the splits. This does hinder the articulation just slightly. Oh, let's see. How far does he kick forward? And he doesn't really want to. I can get him on this leg that much. Let's try the other one. Okay, so this one is stuck a little bit, it seems. So he kicks forward that far, approximately 90 degrees it looks like, and then way back. Wow. Well, I said way back, wow. But maybe 2 steps, possibly. Step and a half. So put those back in place. Cut here at the upper thigh. Full 360-degree rotation there. Double hinged, pinless knee, and it gives you that much bend. At the top of the shin, there is a boot cut for another 360-degree rotation. And then at the ankle, tilts down that far. Tilts up that far. Wow. And forward-facing pin for rocker. Now, as far as the accessories go, again, the shield plugs in right there, and then you can plug the other pieces in it, and I'll show that in a minute. Or these flaming pieces can pin in here on the wrists as well. I suppose they could plug into the back here, but that looks kind of weird. So when he's not using the shield, it'll plug in back here, and then again, let me show the flame pieces plug in. They plug in to the shield like that. And then while you've got it like that, if you plug it into his back, it's very reminiscent of the 2001 series Cyclone, that Masters of the Universe series, where he had a big hoop around, you know, that went up around his head from his back, and then you laid it down when he went into spinning mode. So that kind of is reminiscent. It reminds me of that, at least. So that's cool. And it's an option. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But I think it looks kind of cool that it's flames instead of like a mechanical ring this time. Well, there we have it, my friends. A look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Masters of the Universe Masterverse New Eternia Cyclone with the Masters of the Universe Masterverse New Eternia Mechanic and the Masters of the Universe Masterverse Revelation Roboto. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Masters of the Universe Masterverse New Eternia Cyclone, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And our final Masters of the Universe Masterverse comparison, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Masters of the Universe Masterverse New Eternia Cyclone, I have to say I like the look of this figure. There are some parts on mine, like the thigh swivels, that are really loose, so I may have to try and do something to tighten that up a little bit. But other than that, you know, just pretty good marks on this figure altogether. And of course you can't see it now because I got his mask on, but you know, he has some nice face deco. And I do like the fact that he comes with the mask so that it kind of gives Cyclone a troop builder aspect, so that if you wanted to troop build Cyclones, then you could do that and have one Cyclone and the rest of them are like masked up troopers that don't really have a face, because you know he's all androids. I like the overall silhouette that this guy cuts. I love the layered effects in his chest radar. I think that looks really, really cool. I like the fact that the little flame effects, when you put them on the shield in the configuration I have and then put it on the back, it kind of harkens back to that 2001 Cyclone, or the Cyclone from the 2001 run of Masters of the Universe. Even though, you know, I wasn't a big fan of that big hoop that comes around him, so he you know, and then he does cyclones or tornadoes or whatever you want to call it. But overall, I do like the look. The sculpt of this is nice. Most of it is molded in the appropriate color plastic for the area in which it is placed. And I have to say, I'm glad that he's the opposite of the original figure in the fact that his waist, you know, the waist joint stays where it's supposed to be and is just not loose and wobbles all over the place like the original. So you guys can remember, if you had that original figure, it was sometimes hard to get him to stand up in a particular pose because of the gimmick in his waist. But the gimmick was really cool when you're a kid, and you know, I guess that's what really counts. But again, overall, you know, I just give high marks on this. He's got cool accessories. You know, that radar in his chest is excellent. The silhouette is nice, and just the detail in the sculpt on this guy, and you know, the overlay pieces that were added, like around the tops of the boots and at the tops of the gloves and on the shoulder bicep area. So, and then, you know, he's got that round shield that harkens back to the original figure, although this is much bigger than that Cyclone's shield. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content, or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.